To the Free State now, where 5 people and 3 companies are set to appear at the Jagersfontein Magistrates Court today. And this is in connection with the 2022 mine dam wall collapse that killed 3 people and damaged several properties. The accused, including workers from an engineering company, a compliance officer and an operations manager, face charges of murder, damaging property and breaking health and safety laws. Here's SABC News reporter Makgala Masiteng, who's at the Jagersfontein Magistrates Court this hour for us. So Makgala, give us the latest update from where you are this moment from the Magistrates Court, including who is appearing today, the specific charges that they also face.
Well, Mxolisi, it was a brief appearance. I'm talking to you now. We are standing outside the Jagersfontein Magistrate Court. It was a very brief appearance today, where the matter was then postponed to the 22nd of October for further investigations. But those who appeared briefly were released on a warning. So we are expecting that they will be appearing here again on the 22nd of October. But as we moved into this court, we've seen the interest from the community members who were outside the magistrate court as well as inside. In fact, the courtroom was filled to capacity, showing the interest, of course, from those victims of that incident that happened about 3 years ago. In fact, tomorrow it will be exactly 3 years since that incident has happened. Now, we understand that you'd remember, Mxolisi, that there were those victims who had signed a contract and agreed with the Jagersfontein Development Mind that they will be they will receive the rebuilding of their houses. But there were also other members who said they opting to go the legal route. I'm standing with one of those members just to take us through how far the process is and how are they feeling now with what is happening now that we're seeing that these members have appeared briefly here in court. Ntate Monamudi Maphalane, thank you very much for joining us. Talk to us. We've seen the members that have appeared today, of course, facing those charges, including that of murder. How are you feeling as a community member and a victim of that incident?
Thank you for having me, Makgala. I feel a bit aggrieved. Actually, here, since 3 years, that will be marked tomorrow. The 11th will be full 3 years. It's for the very first time that I even see the culprit. Since the disaster, the mine haven't even never had the decency to come to apologize to us. We're not even sure who are the mine owners or the company owners of the very same JDP that has caused us this disaster.
Now, talk to us. I understand that there's a matter that you have taken to the High Court. Talk to us about that, because I know that there were members who their houses were rebuilt. There was some kind of agreement between them and the mine, but you are part of the group that took the legal route, taking this matter to the High Court.
Yes, of course, Makgala, there was a document that you had to sign before your house could have been rebuilt. And by virtue of understanding, because that is a legal document, obviously, on behalf of the company representing or the JDP, that document itself supposed to have been compiled by a legal representative. But there was a process. You were supposed to go first to the police station and have an affidavit that you don't want the legal representative involved. And then with that, you would go to the mine. And then they would then issue you with that legal agreement or the agreement, which you will then sign. And then thereafter, in terms of clause 9, 10, and 11, of which I'll share that agreement with you, Makgala, which are the reasons what actually forced me or prompted us not to sign it, but rather to go the legal route. And then we approached Nkume Incorporated, based in Pretoria, to represent us in this regard. And on the 26th of June, we filed our documents at the High Court, represented by Andres Nkume from Nkume Incorporated. So we still are waiting us to take place at the High Court, of which I want to believe that also this one, after the 22nd, it will then be also escalated at the level of a High Court, because the magnitude of the disaster that took place, which I still insist that it was not a natural disaster, it is a man-made disaster. So somebody needs to be taken into account with regard to that.
How have you been surviving, rather? It's been 3 years, as we have indicated. Tomorrow it will be 3 years.
We are surviving, but we are much aggrieved, like one is saying. It's for the first time that I see the representative from JDP, which is the company that was also involved there. Bearing in mind, we also have families, we have kids that were traumatized by this. One of the typical example, my child is always asking me, when are we going back home? I said, once this matter is being settled at the court. So those are some of the things that are also traumatizing in even our family members. Financially, when we occupy the places where we are currently alternated, the mine was paying. But in terms of paging us to go and sign, they then decided to stop paying for the rental for that matter. And this was one of their strategies in paging us to go and sign so that the matter be settled and it's not actually even brought to the court.
Talk to us about tomorrow. Any plans in terms of the commemoration?
Yes, there are commemorations that are prepared for tomorrow with Justice Lerumo and other organizations, and we will be having a sort of a symposium around the very same disaster. But much aggrieved for that it will be marking 3 years down the line. One of the bodies has not yet been found or being recovered, and we actually seen the national and the provincial government actually dragging feet in this regard, because you can bear in mind how aggrieved is that family if one as a community member I'm aggrieved on their behalf, what stance they should be in terms of the aggrievement, that it will be marking 3 years. They don't know where is their mother, where is their aunt, where is their sister.